Hanoi, Vietnam, May 25, 2025. The French presidential plane lands at Hanoi by International Airport. Cameras flash as President Emmanuel Macron steps out, waving with his signature charm. Beside him, First Lady Brigitte Macron, elegant in a tailored navy suit, smiles tightly. The world expects another polished diplomatic visit. But what happens next sends the internet into a tailspin. As Macron descends the plane stairs, Brigitte's hand swings up. It's not a wave. It's a sharp, deliberate slap across his cheek. The sound cracks through the air. Reporters freeze. Secret Service agents flinch. Macron stumbles, his hand flying his face, eyes wide with shock. Brigitte's expression is unreadable, cold, almost triumphant. The moment is caught on a dozen cameras, and within minutes, the clip is everywhere. Twitter explodes with hashtag #MacronSlap, trending worldwide. Memes flood TikTok. Macron's face photoshopped onto boxing gloves. Brigitte as a WWE star. But behind the jokes, questions burn. Why did she do it? Was it a prank, a fight, or something deeper? In Paris, the Élysée palace scrambles. A press release calls it a playful gesture misinterpreted by the media. Nobody buys it. The footage is too raw, too real. Brigitte's hand didn't just graze him, it connected with force. Macron's stunned look wasn't staged. The world smells a scandal, and they're hungry for answers. Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron have always been a lightning rod. He's the young, ambitious president who reshaped French politics. She's a former teacher, 24 years a senior, whose romance with a teenage Emmanuel raised eyebrows. Their love story, defiant, unconventional, has been both celebrated and mocked. They've weathered tabloids, rumors, and political storms, always presenting a united front. But the slap cracks that image wide open. Insiders whisper about tension in the Élysée. Macron's presidency is shaky. Economic reforms have sparked protests, and his approval ratings hover at historic lows. France is restless, and so, apparently, is Brigitte. Sources close to the couple hint at private arguments about policy, about optics, about power. Brigitte isn't just a supportive spouse. She's a confidant, a strategist. Some say she's the real force behind Macron's rise. Others claim she's grown tired of playing second fiddle. The Hanoi trip was meant to be a reset. Macron needed a win. Trade deals, photo ops, a chance to look presidential. Brigitte was there to soften his image. The elegant first lady charming foreign leaders. But the slap suggests something snapped. Was it a spontaneous outburst or a calculated move? Social media sleuths dissect every frame, noting Brigitte's clenched jaw, the way Macron recoils. Conspiracy theories multiply. Was she sending a message? Was someone else pulling the strings? The Macrons try to move on. At a state dinner that evening, they sit side by side, smiling for cameras. But the tension is palpable. Macron's cheek is slightly red, though makeup tries to hide it. Brigitte's laugh sounds forced. Vietnamese officials, unsure how to react, keep the mood light behind closed doors. French aides are in crisis mode. The delegation's phones buzz with notifications. Every news outlet, from CNN to Le Monde, is running the story. Pundits speculate wildly. Was Brigitte drunk? Was Macron cheating? Is their marriage a sham? By morning, protests erupt in Paris. Yellow vest activists, dormant for years, seize the moment. Brigitte slaps for France, one banner reads. Others are less kind, hurling insults at both Macrons. Far-right leaders like Marine Le Pen pounce, calling the incident a disgrace to the Republic. Even Macron's allies struggle to defend him. A junior minister's attempt to call it a cultural misunderstanding is mocked mercilessly online. Brigitte stays silent, but her actions speak louder. She skips a scheduled hospital visit, leaving Macron to face reporters alone. He dodges questions about the slap, focusing on trade talks. But his usual swagger is gone. He looks rattled, smaller somehow. Meanwhile, Brigitte is spotted at the hotel, calmly sipping tea, scrolling her phone. The contrast fuels speculation. Is she embarrassed or reveling in the chaos? As the video racks up billions of views, darker theories emerge. Some claim the slap was staged, a distraction from Macron's domestic failures. France's economy is teetering. Unemployment is up, inflation is biting. A juicy personal scandal could shift focus from policy flops. Others see foreign interference. Russian bots amplify the clip, spreading doctor versions where Brigitte slap loops endlessly. Chinese state media run sly editorials about Western instability. Was the slap a geopolitical pawn? Then there's the personal angle. Gossip blogs unearth old rumors, Macron's alleged affairs, Brigitte's jealousy. A blurry photo from 2024 resurfaces, showing Macron cozy with a young aide at a gala. It's inconclusive, but the internet runs with it. Brigitte's had enough, one viral post declares. Another theory points to health. Macron's gone appearance sparks whispers of illness. Was Brigitte's slap a wake-up call, a desperate act to jolt him? The most outlandish theory ties to the Élysées inner circle. A leaked email, quickly debunked, claims Brigitte was fed up with Macron's chief of staff, Alexis Kohler. The email alleges Kohler pushed Brigitte out of key decisions, prompting her to make a statement. True or not, the idea of a power struggle gains traction. Brigitte isn't just a scorned wife. She's a player in a high-stakes game. 3 days after the slap, the Macrons return to Paris. They exit the plane hand in hand, smiling broadly. It's a performance, and the world knows it. At a press conference, Macron addresses the incident head-on. "My wife and I share a passionate, honest relationship," he says, chuckling. "Sometimes we tease each other. The media loves to exaggerate." Brigitte nods, her eyes fixed on the crowd. "I regret any misunderstanding," she adds. "It was a private moment, nothing more." The damage control is slick but flawed. Macron's laugh sounds hollow. Brigitte's words feel rehearsed. Polls show 68% of French voters think the slap was serious, not playful. A late-night talk show host quips, "If that's teasing, I'd hate to see their arguments." The Macrons retreat to the Élysées, hounded by paparazzi. Brigitte's public appearances dwindle. Macron throws himself into work, announcing a new climate initiative. But the slap lingers, a stain on their legacy. Privately, sources say the couple is fraying. Macron is furious, feeling humiliated on the world stage. Brigitte is defiant, refusing to apologize beyond her scripted statement. Aides report heated late-night arguments, with Brigitte accusing Macron of neglecting her counsel. "You're losing France, and you're losing me," she allegedly snaps. Macron, ever pragmatist, knows he can't afford a divorce. Brigitte is his anchor, his advisor, his edge. But at what cost? The world keeps watching. Every Macron appearance is scrutinized for signs of strain. Brigitte's rare outings spark frenzy. Her smile, her posture, her choice of jewelry all dissected for clues. The slap has become more than a moment. It's a symbol. For some, it's a feminist rallying cry, Brigitte refusing to be a silent trophy wife. For others, it's a national embarrassment, proof of a presidency in freefall. Late-night comics and YouTubers churn out skits, while historians draw parallels to Marie Antoinette scandals. The Élysées walls, one the fortress, feel like a pressure cooker. A month later, a bombshell drops. A French tabloid publishes an alleged text exchange between Brigitte and a close friend, dated the night before the slap. He's crossed a line. "I won't be invisible anymore." It reads. The texts are unverified, but they reignite the firestorm. Macron's team calls them fake, threatening lawsuits. Brigitte stays mum, spotted walking her dog in Paris. Sunglasses hiding her eyes. The public laps it up, with hashtag Brigitte Speaks trending globally. Meanwhile, Macron's rival circle. The 2027 election looms, and the slap has weakened him. Le Pen's party releases a brutal ad. Slow-motion footage of slap, overlaid with "France deserves strength." Macron's allies urge him to pivot, to turn the scandal into a story of resilience. He considers a candid interview, maybe with Oprah, to reclaim the narrative. But Brigitte reportedly vetoes it. "No more performances," she says. For the first time, the world wonders, is she done with him? Theories keep swirling. Some say Brigitte planned the slap to force Macron's hand, retire, step back, or share power. Others believe it was raw emotion, years of frustration boiling over. A few insist it's bigger than the Macrons, tied to global players exploiting France's cracks. No one agrees, but everyone's obsessed. The clip still circulates, remixed into pop songs, gaming streams, even NFT art sold for millions. 6 months later, the Macrons are still together, but the dynamic has shifted. Brigitte takes a more visible role, launching a literacy campaign that draws praise. Macron leans on her publicly, calling her my rock at a G7 summit. The slap is rarely mentioned in polite circles, but it's never forgotten. It's a wound, a warning, a mystery. Did Brigitte mean to hurt him or to save him? Was it love, rage, or strategy? The truth stays locked in the Élysée, where two people navigate a marriage, a presidency, and a world that won't look away. 6 months after the slap that shook the world, Paris hums with uneasy calm. The Élysée Palace, once a beacon of Macron's polished presidency, feels like a fortress under siege. Emmanuel Macron, still reeling from the viral moment, pushes forward with a new economic plan, hoping to claw back public support. His approval ratings, though slightly up, remain fragile. Brigitte Macron, meanwhile, has stepped into the spotlight, her literacy campaign earning cautious praise. But the world hasn't forgotten Hanoi. Every glance, every gesture between the Macrons is dissected, fuel for endless speculation. The slap isn't just a scandal anymore. It's a shadow that follows him everywhere. In the Élysée's private quarters, tension simmers. Macron, ever the strategist, wants to bury the incident. He's proposed a joint TV interview, a chance to spin the slap as a quirky anecdote of their passionate marriage. Brigitte, however, shuts it down. No more lies, she snaps during a late-night argument, her voice sharp enough to cut through the palace's gilded walls. Aides, eavesdropping through closed doors, report a shift in her demeanor. She's no longer supportive First Lady molding herself to Macron's image. She's assertive, almost defiant, demanding a bigger role in his decisions. Macron, torn between pride and pragmatism, knows he needs her, but he's starting to wonder if she's still on his side. Outside, France is restless. The slap has become a cultural touchstone, a lightning rod for every grievance. Protesters, from union workers to far-right nationalists, chant Brigitte's name, some in solidarity, others in mockery. Slap the system, scrawled on Paris walls, captures the mood. The yellow vests reinvigorated, stage weekly marches, their banners blending anti-Macron slogans with memes of Brigitte's hand in midair. Marine Le Pen, smelling blood, ramps up her rhetoric, framing the slap as proof of Macron's weakness. A man who can't control his wife can't control a nation, she sneers at a rally. The crowd roars, but even Le Pen's critics admit the scandal has dented Macron's armor. Social media keeps the fire burning. TikTok challenges recreate the slap with exaggerated sound effects, while ex-posts dissect Brigitte's every move. A viral thread claims she's been meeting secretly with feminist activists, plotting a bolder public role. Another alleges she's consulting divorce lawyers, though no evidence surfaces. The most bizarre rumor ties the slap to a hacked Élysée server, with whispers of foreign agents, Russian, Chinese, or even American, using the scandal to destabilize France. Cybersecurity experts dismiss it, but the theory spreads like wildfire, amplified by bots and late-night YouTubers. Then a new bombshell lands. In December 2025, a French investigative outlet, Mediapart, publishes grainy audio from an anonymous source. It's allegedly Brigitte, recorded weeks before the slap, speaking to an unnamed confidant. He's drifting, and I'm done watching him fail. Her voice says, clipped and furious. If he won't listen, I'll make him. The audio's authenticity is debated. Some call it a deepfake, others swear it's her. Macron's team scrambles, labeling it a malicious fabrication. Brigitte, unusually, issues a rare solo statement. I won't dignify forgeries with a response. But the damage is done. The audio reignites hashtag MacronSlapMania, with ex-users posting side-by-side clips of slap and the audio's transcript. She planned it. One post declares, racking up millions of likes. The audio shifts public perception. Brigitte, once a polarizing figure, gains a strange new respect. Feminists hail her as a woman reclaiming power, tired of being a silent partner. Brigitte didn't just slap Macron. She slapped patriarchy. A viral op-ed proclaims. Younger voters, especially Gen Z, turn her into an ironic icon, flooding Instagram with fan art her in boxing gloves or as a comic book hero. But not everyone's on board. Traditionalists call her reckless, accusing her of undermining France's dignity. A Le Figaro columnist writes, "The First Lady's role is to elevate, not embarrass." The debate rages, splitting France down the middle. Macron, meanwhile, is cornered. His allies urge him to lean into the drama, maybe joke about the slap in a speech to seem relatable. He tries it at a tech conference, quipping, "My wife keeps me grounded," sometimes literally. The room laughs, but online it flops. Tone deaf, one ex-user writes. He's begging for pity. His advisors pivot, pushing him to focus on policy. A new green energy deal with Germany gives him a brief boost, but the slap's shadow looms. Every press conference, someone asks about Brigitte. Every international trip, cameras zoom in on their body language. At a NATO summit, a British tabloid catches Brigitte rolling her eyes as Macron speaks. It's a fleeting moment, but it sparks another round of Trouble in Paradise headlines. Privately, the Macrons are at a crossroads. Sources say Brigitte wants a formal advisory role, not just influence behind closed doors. Macron resists, wary of the optics. France isn't ready for a co-president, he tells her, according to a leaked aides note. But Brigitte isn't backing down. She's been reading the X-posts, the think pieces, the memes. She knows the slap made her a global figure, not just Macron's wife. She started hosting private salons at the Élysée, inviting intellectuals, activists, even influencers. The guest lists are secret, but whispers leak. She's building a network, maybe a platform. For what? No one's sure. By spring 2026, the slap's fallout reshapes French politics. Macron's party, Renaissance, loses ground in local elections, with voters citing instability at the top. Le Pen's national rally surges, capitalizing on the chaos. Brigitte's literacy campaign, though successful, is overshadowed by her new image. A wild card, unpredictable and unapologetic. She starts speaking out more, dropping cryptic comments at events. Power is about action, not just words, she tells a crowd at a women's conference. The line trends instantly, with some seeing it as a jab at Macron's endless speeches. The world still watches, hooked on the Macron saga. A Hollywood producer pitches a movie about the slap, tentatively titled La Geifel. Netflix reportedly eyes a docuseries. The clip itself, now a cultural artifact, is studied in media classes, dissected for its raw emotion. Was it rage? Betrayal? Love twisted into defiance? The Macrons, for their part, keep up appearances. At a Bastille Day parade, they stand shoulder to shoulder, smiling. But Brigitte's hand rests lightly on Macron's arm, and cameras catch his subtle flinch. The internet pounces. He's scared of her now. As 2027 nears, the slap's legacy endures. It's a wound that won't heal, a spark that keeps igniting. Macron fights to salvage his presidency, but Brigitte's shadow looms larger. She's no longer just a first lady. She's a symbol, a question mark, a force. Whether they stay together or split, one thing's clear. The slap didn't just mark Macron's face. It marked history. Summer 2026, and the Élysée Palace is a pressure cooker. Emmanuel Macron, now a year past the infamous slap, clings to his presidency with grim determination. His economic reforms show glimmers of success, but the public's trust is thin. Brigitte Macron, meanwhile, has transformed. No longer just a first lady, she's a global enigma, part icon, part riddle. Her literacy campaign thrives, but it's her cryptic speeches and bold moves that keep the world glued to her. The slap in Hanoi wasn't the end. It was the spark that set France ablaze. Brigitte's private salons at the Élysée have grown bolder. She hosts artists, tech moguls, even dissident voices, sparking rumors of shadow agenda. X buzzes with speculation. Is she plotting a political run? A tell-all memoir? A source leaks that she's been meeting with a top PR firm, crafting a solo image. Macron, wary, confronts her. "What are you building?" he demands in a heated row, overheard by staff. Something you can't control, she fires back. The rift deepens, but publicly, they're still the perfect couple, hands clasped at state events. Yet cameras catch Macron's tight jaw, Brigitte's steely gaze. The slaps ghost haunts politics. Marine Le Pen's national rally surges in polls, wielding the incident like a club. France needs stability, not drama, she declares a Marseille rally, as supporters wave mock boxing gloves. Macron's party scrambles, but defections mount. A junior minister quits, citing chaos at the top. Protests flare again, with Brigitte's army banners among the crowds. Half satire, half sincere. The First Lady's feminist fans see her as a rebel. Her critics call her a liability. A viral ex-post sums it up. Brigitte slaps, France splits. Then a new twist. In August, a hacked Élysée email surfaces, allegedly from Brigitte to an unknown recipient. He's lost his fire. I'll light it for him or burn it down. The leak, unverified, sends shockwaves. Macron's team calls it fake, but Brigitte's silence fuels a fire. Talk shows dissect her words. Is she plotting to push Macron out or save him? The audio from last year resurfaces, blending with the email to paint a portrait of a woman done waiting in the wings. Macron fights back, announcing a text